So today we're going to talk about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, or AOC as I'm just going to call her because I probably butchered the pronunciation of her name, and the right-wing beta orbiters. And I don't really like to do this. I don't like to use like this Freudian socio-psychological sexual motivations, but I'm really kind of at a loss to explain it otherwise. Something I've noticed with all things you can call right wing, ranging from like boomer conservatives to like classical liberals, if you want to throw them in, like Sargon, to alt-right people, to just traditionalists, are obsessed with talking about her. Literally every Facebook page I follow, from like the Republican Party of X state, we support Donald Trump, to like edgy meme pages, constantly post about her. At least once every couple days. They post memes, they post statements. All like the conservative news sites constantly write articles about her. It is bizarre. And I don't really get why. I mean, they'd probably say it's to show everybody how insane she is. It's to do an expose. It's all that kind of thing. But the frequency of it and the obsession with it, in my mind at least, it seems to go beyond what they were doing with like Obama or like any other left-wing political figure I can see. And I can't help but think a lot of it is they find her sexually attractive for some reason, and this is their kind of way of dealing with that, is they just have to talk about her constantly. And the thing is, the more they talk about her, the more of a platform they give her. Because I don't know how much of a platform she realistically would have if people on the right were constantly bringing her up and framing her as the leader of the Democratic Party. Because in a lot of ways, she gets more attention than Joe Biden, she gets more attention than Bernie Sanders, she gets more attention than Hillary Clinton, than Obama, although Obama is no longer in office, but people talk about her more than they talk about how Obama messed up the country, or whatever the narrative is you want to use. And I think they've kind of effectively made her the leader of the American left. And it's to me, I guess, the question is this deliberate or not? And I don't think it is deliberate, but that is the only kind of logical, strategic reason I can see for this being a good idea. So to me, what controlled opposition is it's not like the other person works for you or they're like a mole or something. It's where you take the least effective, most unlikable, inept person you can find and just have all your people promote them as being the leader of the opposition. John McCain's a good example of this. And you can see this also with who gets banned on Twitter and who doesn't get banned on Twitter. Oftentimes the people who are like the biggest freak shows don't get banned, but the more effective people do. At least that's what I find. Or they don't let the more effective people on TV, but they bring on like the worst people they can find. And to me, that's kind of controlled opposition. So maybe some of them are saying, okay, she's insane, she doesn't appeal to middle America. Maybe if we keep bringing her up and we keep just kind of showing people what her position is and getting her to be the public face of the Democratic Party, then maybe that'll lead to them losing the next election. Maybe that'll do more harm than good for them. But I don't really think that's what most people are doing. I think they're just obsessed with her. And all they're really doing, particularly the people who don't want the Democrats to go in that direction, are just promoting her and giving her legitimacy. Every time they write another article attacking her, they're providing her with more political legitimacy, and they're encouraging the Democratic Party to rally around her and to see her as their de facto leader. Because I think in a lot of ways she has become their de facto leader. But once again, I don't think that that's the point. I don't think the point is we're going to pick someone stupid and ineffective and we're going to portray them as the leader. Otherwise, they pick Joe Biden or Hillary Clinton or some other person who's hopelessly corrupt and incompetent and is terrible at explaining their points and making their case. But they didn't take that. They took a young, dynamic minority congresswoman, and they just have made her the head of the Democratic Party. And I can't think of why they would be doing this other than they have some weird, like, sexual fetish for her or something. And it literally is beta orbiting. It's like, I don't know, really shit tier game. They're like, oh, if we insult her and we do this stuff, then she'll like us. Then maybe we can sleep with her or something. It feels like really shit tier game, and it's just really pathetic. Like, really? There's no one better you can orbit around? You're gonna pick her? And it's just like, I find it's just distracting from other issues. It's distracting from other politicians. A lot of them, like the Democratic debates were some of the most radical things I've ever seen in my life. You had basically all of them say, we're going to get completely rid of borders. We're going to get rid of the police. We're going to just do insane things. And people talked about that for a day or two, but then they just went back to posting AOC memes. And once again, that's just my opinion on the matter. I think it's beta orbiting. I think it represents in a lot of people a conscious or subconscious sexual desire for her, and it needs to stop. Even if this is a controlled opposition thing, it just seems very pathetic and petty and makes our side look weak. So enough of the AOC memes, enough of like covering every single thing she says. Just like, it's just enough. It's just not, I don't think it's working. I don't think it's effective, and I think it makes us look bad. Anyways, those are my thoughts on the matter. God bless. This is Argent. As always, we must ascend.